Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window from this afternoon, and another nice one here in north central Washington today. It was a little bit breezier and we did see a few more clouds, so that kept our temperatures down, but down from the unbelievable day that was yesterday. And let's go back to December 1st. Yesterday, 70 degrees here in the Wenatchee area, an all-time December monthly record. Also, OMAC, you were off the charts yesterday at 74 degrees. And you know what usually follows warm temperatures? That's cooler temperatures, and we are on the bottom right part of your screen there. Our temperatures in Wenatchee, beginning tomorrow, they will be a little bit closer to normal, still a little bit above, but we will definitely see a cool down as we get into tomorrow, and we'll talk much more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office is asking people to be on the lookout for a bronze statue that was stolen early Tuesday morning from a roadside prayer chapel. In October of 2021, the unemployment rate fell 1 7/10 percentage points to 3.7%. And the Washington State Patrol is warning motorists who experience the misfortune of a vehicle breakdown to not leave any possessions visible if you can't arrange for a tow right away. But first, our top story tonight. A Grant County man who pleaded guilty to 3 counts of child molestation won't have his sentence reduced. 78-year-old Craig Russell Jungers of Moses Lake admitted last year to sexually abusing a child between the ages of 7 and 9 and earned a sentence of 9 years to life in prison. In his appeal, Jungers said his attorneys failed to win him time to prepare his plea, and he should have been allowed a sentence of rehabilitative treatment rather than prison. The State Court of Appeals turned down his claims in September and reaffirmed his sentence in a decision issued this morning. Jurgens is serving an indeterminate sentence, meaning after 9 years he must be approved for release by a review board. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office is asking people to be on the lookout for a bronze statue that was stolen early Tuesday morning from a roadside prayer chapel. The 3-foot-high cowboy and horse statue was taken about 3:30 a.m. outside Creston at the intersection of Highway 2 and Red Wine Canyon Road. The statue was a family gift about 10 years ago to famed rodeo bronc rider Deb Copenhaver, who died in 2019. The bronze statue was created by Copenhaver's daughter, well-known sculptor Deborah Copenhaver Fellows. Anyone with information is asked to call Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Dispatch, and that phone number is 509-725-3501. Well, year over year, monthly unemployment rates in the Wenatchee metropolitan statistical area have decreased in each of the 7 months from April through October of 2021. Back in October of 2020, COVID-19 related layoffs pushed unemployment upwards to 5.4%, but in October of this year, the rate fell 1 7/10 percentage points to 3.7%. That 3.7% reading is the lowest rate for October since data began to be recorded electronically back in 1990. But the State Employment Security Department says this apparent outstanding economic news must be tempered by the fact that the Washington MSA's labor force was considerably smaller in October of this year than it was in October of 2019. The Washington State Patrol is warning motorists who experience the misfortune of a vehicle breakdown to not leave any possessions visible if you can't arrange for a tow right away. Trooper John Bryant said a driver left their vehicle on the side of Highway 97 north of Orondo Tuesday night, and the driver returned to find the rear windows shattered. Well, coming up next, the woman rescued on Blewett Pass after slipping off a cliff and spending 4 days in her car has now been released from the hospital. A recent study shows Latinos, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders had the highest rates of COVID-19 infection, hospitalizations, and deaths. And the Orondo Firefighters Association is celebrating the 75th anniversary of the fire department. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Welcome back. In another news, the 68-year-old woman who was trapped in her car down an embankment off Blewett Pass for almost 4 days was released from Central Washington Hospital yesterday. The family of Linnell McFarland of Spokane Valley said the sound of a nearby creek helped keep her calm, and prayer kept her motivated during her ordeal. Her car was upside down and her arm was broken with the bone exposed. Her family said yesterday her right hand will still need surgery. McFarland had been missing since November 8th when she was finally found November 22nd. Her family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with the expenses incurred. As of this afternoon, $6,300 of the $30,000 goal had been reached. Last month, the State Department of Health began trying to draw a clearer picture of the COVID-19 pandemic in Washington, pulling in data on patients' ethnicity. They found that Latinos, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders had the highest rates of infection, hospitalizations, and deaths, despite totaling only about 14% of the state population. The state's Deputy Secretary for COVID response says those numbers appear to stem from greater exposure in the workplace for those demographics.
We report this data by race, ethnicity, and we see the gaps by race. And just, to be clear, it's very complex. People have different types of exposures depending on their types of role in whatever the sector is. But we do know that people of color are more likely to be frontline workers, and that brings risk. And then also just to say explicitly, that when we see these differences, it is driven by systemic and structural racism, not by race, and really want to call that out and name it. And we issue these reports so we can figure out where we focus those community-based efforts and our efforts with, partners like the healthcare system. And we all have tremendous work to do in this regard.
The Orondo Firefighters Association is celebrating the 75th anniversary of the fire department. Founded on December 2nd, 1946, all-volunteer Douglas County Fire District 4 began under the direction of the Commissioners Northeast. Commissioners N.E. Stannard, Buford Fisher, and A.L. Sylvest. Currently, there are about 35 volunteer firefighters and EMTs who respond to fire and medical emergencies on the east side of the Columbia River, from Turtle Rock north to the Beebe Bridge. The district has stations in Orondo, Braze, and Lone Pine, with the station under construction near Beebe Bridge on property purchased from Chelan County PUD in 2019. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Saturday, December 4th, RLS Productions presents the West Coast Best Bon Jovi and Journey tribute bands at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Non-Jovi will bring back the stadium rock of the 80s, and the Infinity Project celebrates Journey, one of rock and roll's greatest hitmakers. Guests may enjoy an exquisite dinner before the concert, or just the concert. Dinner and concert tickets are available at rlstickets.com. That's rlstickets.com.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Each week, NCWLIFE's Rachel Mandelis introduces us to a new pet available for adoption at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. In tonight's feature story, meet two kittens named Miles and Strider.
This week on Pause for Pets, Haley introduces us to a pair of kittens named Miles and Strider.
With me this week are two brothers. The one in my lap is Miles, and in this kennel is Strider. They are very sweet, loving boys who need special homes because they have special diets. Their food over here is for sensitive digestion, and it's only $2 more than what we would normally recommend you feed them. They're going to need to be on it for the rest of their lives, most likely, just because their stomachs cannot handle the compounds of the regular food that we feed. So Miles and Strider are brothers, but they cannot go home together because they are so food motivated. They will fight each other over its food. And so they will have to also be the only cats in the home anyway, because they will try to go for regular food, and they will most likely do the same behaviors with other cats that they exhibit with each other. If you're interested in getting Miles or Strider, you can come on down to our shelter. We are open 7 days a week from 11 to 6. We are closed daily from 1:30 to 2:30 for quiet time, so that way it gives our animals a break.
All right, time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you all had a great Thursday. It was another warm one, nothing like yesterday. And wasn't that unbelievable? 70 degrees. A record high temperature yesterday. Today, a few more clouds out there. We did see a light breeze that kept things a little bit cool too as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. But still, high temperature today wasn't bad. And get this, that 57 degree high temperature, that happened at 1 a.m. this morning. We cooled down to about 46 right there, and then we warmed back up this afternoon to about 54. So our high temperature for today was at 1 a.m. this morning. Weird weather. 37 is still our normal high, so 20 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Just one off the record for this date. That was 58, set back in 1975. Our normal low is 27, by the way, and our record, once again, 1985. It was 8 degrees. Sunrise 7:29, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:12. Let's check those Friday temperatures now as we get to the end of our first week in December, at least half a week or so. High temperatures tomorrow. Look at this, a lot cooler. 44s from Moses Lake through Ephrata and Quincy into the Wenatchee area. So quite a cool down as we get you into Friday. 42 in Leavenworth, 43 in Entiat, and 43 as well for a high temperature tomorrow up at Lake Chelan. As we get you into tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Can still see a little rotation around our high pressure ridge that brought us all the warm weather, but it's really being flattened out now by a large area of low pressure moving down from the Gulf of Alaska. As we get you into Friday, mostly cloudy skies. It will cool off. Our flow now coming down from the northwest, and that'll bring some cooler air in. High temperatures, as we mentioned earlier, in the mid-40s for most of us on Friday. For Saturday, mostly cloudy skies. A weak wave of moisture will follow this area of low pressure that slid through the area, but really won't produce a lot. Maybe a 30% chance of rain on Saturday, with highs once again in the mid-40s. As we get into Sunday, that's where things will get a little bit wet, but not until late in the day. This is for most of our day, just mostly cloudy skies, but this is around 11 o'clock to midnight, and look at the rain mixed with snow all across our area. Highs on Sunday, once again, mid-40s. For Monday, it is going to be a wet start to the day. Rain mixed with snow likely, 80% chance on Monday. Cooler, too, with high temperatures only in the low 40s. A lot of that moisture will move through the area on Monday. That'll make for a fairly quiet day for Tuesday, even though we're going to see a lot of clouds still from that messiness still out in the Pacific. High temperatures only in the low 40s on Tuesday. And then as we get to Wednesday, once again, back to the wet stuff. Look at this as we see the strong flow from the northwest bringing us rain mixed with snow showers. We'll see high temperatures in the low 40s. And I think we have a good chance next week of seeing some white stuff and possibly seeing it kind of stick around. Let's take a look now at that 7-day forecast. Tonight, much cooler, 33 overnight tonight, 44, mostly cloudy, the high for Friday, 31 the overnight low, and these temperatures now getting closer to where we should be, but keep in mind 37 is still our normal high temperature. 30% chance for rain Saturday, that goes up to 60% late Sunday, and an 80% chance for a rain-snow mix on Monday, and 42. Mostly cloudy and mild as we get you into Tuesday, 42 our high, 30 the low, and then back to more wet weather, and this looks to be a big storm coming in midweek next week. Wednesday, cloudy, a 60% chance for rain mixed with snow, with high temperatures once again then right around 42 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
New novel is now available at Amazon.com. The title, Lost Treasure of the China Bar, details life on the Columbia River and Plateau during the 1800s. You ask, is the treasure still buried somewhere near Chelan? Find out by reading Lost Treasure of the China Bar.
Lost Treasure of the China Bar. Buy it on Amazon.com. $12.99 for paperback, $2.99 for Kindle. A great gift.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
What is home? A place to gather, a place to grow, provide shelter for the ones we love, eat, drink, restore, build trust. It's a place to rest when the workday is done, a place to find quiet after a night of good fun. What an honor we have at Guild to help own, finance, create, pave the way to live in home.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. After scoring the most goals in a game in team history on Saturday, the Seattle Kraken had their first shootout in team history last night in Detroit. Unfortunately, the Red Wings came out on top, outscoring Seattle 2-1 in the shootout for the 4-3 win. After a scoreless first period, Detroit scored the game's first goal early in the second. Now Seattle came back with goals by Vince Dunn and Ryan Donato to take the lead. It was a back-and-forth contest from there.
Seattle with Rasmussen in the box. Up high for Dunn, the shot, he scores! Sedina pass was out of his reach, and then a slip there on the blades by Osterley. All alone, and they score! Oh, miscue by Detroit. Back in, Nemesnikov took the shot, scores! I think he's playing for China. Scores! Raymond gets the goal! 3-2! Use it as a verb. There it is, a shot, they score! Donato. Pretty good shot. So, Adam Ernie. Scores! There's the one he should have had during the game. Right. A passer, not a shooter, but he's got no choice but to shoot now to keep this going. If not, Red Wings win. And they do! Thomas Greiss, career win number 150.
Seattle will return home to start a 4-game homestand on Friday against Edmonton. Well, the Washington State Cougars won a low-scoring Pac-12 opener last night at Arizona State. Cougars held the Sun Devils to their lowest point total in 75 years in a 59-29 win. Coach Kyle Smith had to go no farther than his cell phone afterwards to know it was an odd game.
Proud of the way our guys competed. It was obviously an odd game based on the texts I received from friends and family, but we played really well. What a defensive effort. Didn't expect that at all, but really pleased.
All right, we'll go questions in the room. What was going wrong offensively in that first half? And then how did it get a little better in the second?
We got off to a 10-0 start. I think their quickness, they've always given us a lot of problems and hard for us to get shot, but we were just trying to survive, not turn it over. But we had 9 turnovers, but I think we're tight. We missed 4 straight free throws, and we missed the front end of 1-1, but we sustained it by just hanging there and guarding them right back.
Noah Williams returned from a neck injury to lead WSU with 14 points, while Deshaun Jackson had 10. Now, Washington was supposed to begin Pac-12 play tonight against 11th-ranked Arizona in the desert. The game postponed due to COVID in the Husky program. Eastern Washington is home tonight at 6 against Southern Utah on ESPN+. On the women's college basketball schedule for today, Washington State hosts San Francisco. That was earlier in Pullman. Haley Van Lith and her 10th-ranked Louisville Cardinals will be on national TV today on ESPN, where they host 12th-ranked Michigan. Eastern Washington is on the road at Southern Utah coming up at 5:30. Turning to the local prep schedule in girls basketball tonight, Cascades hosting Tonasket while Liberty Bell visits Omak. At 6 o'clock, it's Cashmere at Ephrata. Bridgeport hosts Manson. Cascade Christian travels to Eastmont. On the boys schedule, it's Cascade Christian and Riverside Christian at 6:30. Cascade hosts Tonasket and Liberty Bell plays at Omak at 7:15. Cashmere and Ephrata and Manson and Bridgeport get underway at 7:30. Girls bowling bowling earlier today. Well, the only one in Yakima. Eisenhower hosting Moses Lake down in the beautiful Yakima Valley. Cascade Wrestlers will be at Cle Elum along with Muckleshoot and Kittitas for a jamboree. That is getting underway. Well, the Seahawks have signed veteran running back Adrian Peterson to its practice squad. The 36-year-old was waived from Tennessee practice squad a few weeks ago after seeing limited playing time. Coach Pete Carroll says he's excited to see what the future Hall of Famer has left in the tank.
I just saw him. He's in. Excited to see if he can help us out and give us a little something. And it's a player that I've known forever. It was way back to his high school days, and admired him tremendously over the years. Always disappointed we didn't get him back in the day, but like I just told him, we finally got him. So I'm looking forward to see how he does and see where he can fit in. He's an incredible competitor and a really great guy, and so I'm anxious to give him a chance to get on the field with our boys.
Meanwhile, Carroll says he and the team are focused on turning around their troubles this week against San Francisco.
What's really obvious is you got to be true to yourself, and you got to be who you are, and make sure you stay as connected to the person you know yourself to be, and you got to and just wear it out. Continue to expect our guys to play with great energy and demand that of the coaching staff, making sure that we're all going for it. And that it's I would tell you that I see that more clearly than I did maybe a couple weeks ago, and how important it is to get right back at it and not back off anything. And so I'm going to be competing my butt off just as much as I possibly can, and make sure that they're following suit.
Seattle and San Francisco were originally supposed to play on Sunday Night Football, but the game was flexed out to a 1:25 start time. Will be broadcast on CBS. NBC will instead air Denver and Kansas City. Hey, one final note here, and it's official. There is a lockout in Major League Baseball. The two sides did not come to an agreement last night, and so now the clubs have nothing to do with the players until they can reach a new agreement. The concern, of course, is over the preseason and whether the regular season will start on time. First time in 26 years there's been a work stoppage in Major League Baseball. We're all hoping that they get things figured out. Rich people owners, rich people players battling over money. Yeah, I know. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley producer Uriah Darby was capturing some footage of the beautiful sunrise this morning looking south toward Rock Island when a mysterious object suddenly appeared in the sky. We suspect Uriah may have used some sort of video trickery, but true believers probably disagree. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Of course, the NCW Community Toy Drive, as you know by now, is well underway, brought to you by our good friends at Les Schwab. And literally 75 or 80 local businesses are participating this year. We've spread out the love a little bit. Some of the outlying communities are going to be involved in this as well. It's a great deal. And, of course, our good friend Eric Grandstrom heads to Hooked on Toys every year at this time. And he goes shopping with an expert shopper, basically a kid, because kids know what kids want for Christmas. Adults don't. We'll have a little feature from Eric on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Also, we'll have the latest sports and news and everything you need to get your first weekend in December going the right way, which is live and local with everything you need right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night. News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
Counterplay inside, picking his way back to the 10, to the 5.
High school sports is back, and NCW Life Channel's got you covered. Tune in for football, girls soccer, and volleyball right here.
Thanks to our sponsors, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Rivercom 911, and Sangster Motors. Follow all the action of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.